Bitcoin at 250,000 and Ethereum at 10,000 US dollars. That's our prediction for this incredible crypto bull market, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the White Spaces show. We have quite a show for you tonight. Let's go. Our guest today is a close friend of mine, a business partner, and a remarkable human being. And just listen to this, and I'm going to be reading all of his incredible achievements. He was involved in several research projects backed by the European Union and was in the Supervisory Board for the BigDataFinance project funded through Horizon 2020. He co-authored 13 academic papers and 2 books. He worked on high-frequency trading, market microstructure, and flush crashes. In 2011, 10 years ago, he was invited to participate in the Foresight Project, the future of computer trading in financial markets, an international project on algorithmic trading funded by Her Majesty Treasury in the UK. He also co-founded Lykke Corp, a blockchain-powered exchange to trade all assets with 0 fees, where he served as Chief Science Officer. And prior to Lykke, he worked as a quantitative researcher at Olsen Ltd, an asset management firm that pioneered the field of computerized trading. And to no surprise, he's now the founder and CEO of Flovtec, Swiss technology company providing market-making solutions to digital asset exchanges and token issuers to create a liquid and efficient market. Anton, welcome to the show.
Pavel, thank you very much for welcoming me. Thank you very much for all of these compliments. I feel really humbled now as I heard that. And thank you for your friendship for all of these years, and couldn't be more excited to be on White Spaces and looking forward to an exciting discussion and interview.
Yeah, thanks so much for coming. And again, it's an incredible journey you've had, but let's dive into the Bitcoin and Ethereum price. I'm curious, what are your price predictions for the 2 largest cryptocurrencies? I mean, up until Dogecoin and BNB will catch up with Bitcoin and ETH, but where do you see the final prices for this bull run?
Yeah. So first, actually, to make a very, very strong statement is that the bull run is still on. And anybody who is part of this industry and see what's happening behind the scenes can see that this will continue, keep on continue going. And I couldn't be more excited about the next steps. Now, price-wise, actually, you know, predictions are hard, especially about the future, but let me throw a stick out there. I also think actually that the numbers you mentioned are quite realistic in terms of the tops of the market. So I see as well Bitcoin going up to 200K over actually coming months and coming time period, and that happening very fast. I went through, this is my 3rd bull run. So I did the first one in 2014, second one in 2017, and this is my 3rd one. So kind of we know now the blueprint and the playbook. So I see Bitcoin ending up at 200K and then overshooting that very rapidly. And likewise with Ether, I would actually put the price even higher than that. I think, you know, it wouldn't be unrealistic actually that Ether over the coming time period reaches 15 up to 20K. Maybe that's a bit more optimistic, but again, we see what's happening behind the scenes, and based on that, I make my predictions about the future.
All right, thanks so much. And you're saying, you know, what we're seeing behind the scenes, is there some kind of mechanism, back office that you guys are operating that is not visible to our mere mortals? I mean, you are in the market making space, right? But I mean, say I'm a 12-year-old, which I'm not too far away from my development, but please explain market making to me like I'm 12 years old.
Okay, I'm happy to do that, Pavel, and as a business partners working together, so I hope, you know, a lot of things will resonate and make sense. So to really kind of explain it a bit in a very simple way and try to kind of break it down. So liquidity is just the ability to easily buy or sell an asset, and that's because there is always a price for an asset. So if I want to sell my Bitcoins, I would be very happy if somebody is there who wants to buy it. Likewise, if I want to buy Bitcoins, I would be very grateful and happy if there's always there someone who wants to sell it. So this is really kind of like the basics of it. But then the question is like, okay, but why is liquidity even important? Why would we care about it? And it turns out actually that everybody really loves liquidity, because actually liquid digital assets, tokens, coins, cryptocurrencies are perceived more attractive for purchase, for investments, and less risky. Obviously more attractive because you can always get in and out, and also less risky because you can just always have the confidence that you can get in and out of that asset. And then finally, the question is, okay, we understand liquidity, what it is. that it's super important, but who provides liquidity? And then companies that always provide that buy and sell price for a coin, for a token, for a cryptocurrency are called market makers or liquidity providers, because they're always the ones on exchanges that quote those prices, such that the kind community, traders, institutional investors, family offices, whoever it is, that they can actually trade with confidence and get it in and out. So in a nutshell, liquidity is key for our ecosystem, and that's why we also like to say to everyone, stay liquid, because you will benefit from being liquid and having liquid assets.
Right, but also explain to me this thing. So obviously, the top 10, maybe even 100 coins don't necessarily need market making, or maybe some of them. So yeah. You're playing more with up and coming projects. Some of the potential moonshots. Are these your clients?
Yeah. So on the spectrum of our clients, actually, we kind of work on a very long tail here. So for instance, we literally had one client that I'm very proud that we helped with, where his token was close to being dead, actually, because it was so illiquid. And the CEO of this project approached us and said, Anton, please save my token, And then, of course, I mean, it's a long process of saving a token or recovering it, of being actually building up that liquidity over time. This is maybe kind of on the lower end of that spectrum, where we really go in there with a mandate to try to save the token. And I'm happy to say that we are successful doing that. On the other side, we have the high flying projects, that raise 30, 40, 50 million in this bull run. And they list on many exchanges very rapidly when they actually, when the token starts getting traded. So they expect us to market make and provide liquidity across many, many exchanges across the globe at all time without stopping, and making sure that their community feels comfortable and confident having their token or buying it, because they know there's a strong partner, a market maker from Switzerland like Flovtec, that can actually generate liquidity for that token and keep the community, the stakeholders, the exchanges, and the brokerage itself very happy.
Yeah, got it. But all right, fine, fair enough. Decentralization is a trend. We whether we like it or we don't, it's here to stay. It's growing. We're seeing crazy numbers, 40% in total liquidity locked, or TLV, or whatever the abbreviations that the crypto industry is full of. To 100 billion, ING releasing a statement. It's you cannot ignore the sector anymore. And my understanding is market making is obviously for centralized exchanges, but as we're seeing more and more volume going into decentralized exchanges, how do you see market making business evolving in that sense?
Yeah. So first, to make a strong statement where you and I are actually fully aligned, as I know you well, that over time we will end up in a fully decentralized space. So let me just make that strong statement. This is over a long time period where we will end up as an industry, as an ecosystem, as a community. But in the meantime, it's going to be a long process getting there. Now, when we talk to exchanges, actually the centralized ones, they actually see where the flow is going. The flow is going towards the decentralized space, and they see their AUM basically dropping over time and going towards the decentralized space. Now, there was a lot of innovations and exciting projects that revolved around automated market making protocols. And the reason why they're interesting in the context of our discussion now is due to the releases that are happening now with version 3 of those protocols. And you can now make, a statement around Uniswap, SushiSwap, Dodo, whichever you want to talk about. But what actually we see it as a trend that's happening now as we speak, and it's going to happen going forward, is that automated market making protocols are actually going to become exchanges, because the version 3 of Uniswap, actually, before you were actually allocating the capital and the liquidity, the whole pricing curve, that actually Uniswap changed that actually basically you can specify a price range where you actually provide liquidity for. Now, if you come from the market making space like I do, you know that this is actually Uniswap getting closer to actually enabling people to put in something that we call limit orders in the order book of those into those protocols, meaning that automated market making protocols are going to become exchanges over time, meaning that's a very fruitful environment and very fruitful ecosystem for market makers like Flovtec, because we can then operate across all of these trading venues and across all of the exchanges. At the moment, Flovtec is connected on the centralized side to around 120 crypto exchanges. I mean, we cover a very large landscape, but also we are also covering the decentralized space, being those DEXs or AMMs, and I see AMMs becoming actually the exchanges over time. Hence, I couldn't be more exciting, because there's going to be a lot more opportunities, both for the projects, token projects, but also Flovtec to serve them as a trusted and strong partner on liquidity and market.
I'm really excited to hear you being so pumped about this development. And yes, absolutely, we are aligned. There's an interview that's coming out with Johan from Nortide Capital, where we also discuss this trend. So it's definitely very, very, very interesting. So let's continue our discussion. You mentioned that this is your third bull cycle, and I mean, a lot of people know the second, in your terms, bull cycle, the 2016 and 17. So what are some of the similarities and differences that you're observing between the two bull cycles of 16, 17, and now of the 2021 and God hope 22?
Yeah. So first, I just want to make it's an interesting statement that I kind of see that my social life depends on the bull runs and the bull cycle. So when we have a bull run, everybody wants to talk to me. I'm very popular, you know, and then when it collapses, you know, nobody talks to me for 2 years. So I can definitely say that we're now on that uptrend of me getting messages from random people that I haven't seen for many years, you know, or 2 years since the last bull cycle. So the similarities are the following, actually, is that you could see actually the bull run happening already last year in summer. Everybody who saw things behind the scene and kind of saw that the infrastructure that's being built, the players that are coming in with large sums and large suitcases of capital coming in. So that's actually the similarity that we saw in the previous bull run, meaning already in 2016, you can kind of see it up front. To make a statement on my side, I see the current environment very similar towards the summer of 2017, meaning we're at that beginning of that bull run that's happening. It always starts very similar. It's Bitcoin makes the run up first, then all the other top coins do the second run up, and then the altcoins follow towards the end with a stratospheric, you know, rises. So I kind of expect that happening in the coming months as well, which is exciting for all of us. But I think this time, the infrastructure has never been stronger than today. So really, if you look at the quality of these projects coming out, the quality of the players and the teams that are coming out there, I think that the bull run of 2017 is not comparable to the one that we are seeing now. And there was a lot of hype and stories in 2017. That's less today, and more solidity, more strength. And that means more amazing opportunities for all of us to profit and benefit from that.
Yeah, and I think we all learned a thing or two. I'm also viewing it from some of the communities that I'm part of. People are far more literate when it comes to some of the technologies that are out there. There's far more scrutiny by the community when it comes to different projects. You know, people are staying informed and in tune with what's happening to the projects that they're backed. So it feels different. So and at the same time more exciting. I mean, we ended the last bull run at what, 18,000 on Bitcoin, and we're now 3 times more than that. And as you're telling me, we're just in the beginning of this bull run. So let's see where we end up. We talked about, well, I presented you as one of the co-founders and an integral part of the Lykke business, but these days, everyone and their mother seems to be issuing a token, and Lykke did so in 2017. So do you think there are any lessons for you learned when it comes to token issuance? I mean, we're seeing a lot of the 2017 projects resurfacing with their same token, other projects issuing tokens. I mean, can we do things better?
So I think actually that issuing a token is one of the greatest experience that any crypto company can actually have. And I'm sure you've seen this in your line of business, kind of the presence and the awareness that you raise in the world actually by issuing a token is something most exciting that any person or any company can go through. And I think that's also like a stamp of validation, of approval from the crypto community saying, hey, I belong here, I'm part of the team and I'm part of the ecosystem. So I really see that actually as a big trend now. And literally, as you mentioned, everybody and their grandmother or mother are issuing a token. I see that continuing. I see a lot of projects, you know, behind the scenes doing that or preparing for that. And kind of my experiences coming from that is that people should, that's why Flovtec exists as well, that people should always think about liquidity, about market making when they think about their token and getting listed. That's a big opportunity for Flovtec from a business perspective. But again, getting exposure to those projects, has never been easier because they have a token that's accessible around the globe for everyone if they want to buy it, if it's a utility or a payment token. So I think this is a really, really exciting opportunity. And I literally see the world going forward being tokenized, and every company in the next couple of years will have their own token, whatever that will be. And great opportunity for all of us, for both from a personal business perspective, investment perspective, however you want to call it.
So you've been part of the community for a while. You got a strong team. All of the stars are aligning. So are you saying that you'll be issuing a token too?
So we have been asked now for about a year, are we issuing a token? These are interesting suggestions, and we take them very seriously. We discuss it. At the moment, in the short-term plans, we cannot say much. And we are looking at what are the opportunities out there for Flovtec. And at the moment, I can't say much, unfortunately. Yeah.
All right. Well, in any case, thank you so much for sharing. I don't know. I'm skeptical about the last point, but let's see. Time will tell. And on this note, I want to thank you for coming over to the White Spaces. And to everybody who's watching White Spaces, thank you so much for being part of our audience. This was Pavel, and I leave you the same way that I always leave you. You stay classy, ecosystem. Talk to you soon.